year right now is a little harder than a normal year. I think, I mean, you know, we've all had kind of one-on-one conversations about this, and I know Ann's talked about it and looked at it, and I think we do have willingness as a board to spend more money on permanent subs or however it is that we need to. You know, obviously we have now a third-party vendor who can help staff, which should hopefully help, but I think the message from the board is if we need more teachers, let's hire more teachers, and we need permanent subs, let's hire permanent subs, and you know, we've never, the community has always wanted small class sizes and good teachers, and so keeping in line with that, I think it's a worthy use of our funds. So, you know, thanks for emailing us, thank you for taking your time to come in here and bring it up, and I think we need to continue to discuss it and figure out different solutions. Do you have any thoughts, Mandy?
No, are you feeling the stress? Is there as much in terms of like the time off or to both of you? Is there a stress point about being students at home that
Are you
doing both teaching? Yeah,
Are you
no, I'm
talking to
talking to
me?
you as well.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm looking at considerations of what the high school and the junior high brought us with the idea of extra time off per week to help manage the students virtually. Is there stress, you think, related to that?
You know,
Did
I
you see it, or
can't
do you have this?
speak to the virtual. I mean, I did actually do one day.
Yes, I was gonna
subbing.
ask, when you sub, are you
I
doing
subbed
virtual?
one day, fifth
Okay.
grade virtual, just to see what it was like.
Okay,
Um,
and that's a separate subbing?
no, I mean, well, fifth grade is through Parley's, both Parley's teachers, so I don't know.
Okay.
One of them just asked me to do it.
Okay.
And I did, and I mean, I thought that was fine. I'm not trying to, I don't know how to put this any other way than like, my priority is in school kids, especially at elementary. There is such a need with some of these kids, like they go home, they're gonna get nothing.
Mm-hmm.
So that's my main focus, and that's why I come in to try to keep the actual in-person school functioning, because that's my priority. And I just feel like there's a huge need in the community, and we saw what happened with these kids when we went remote last year, and it's just not really a viable option for a lot of them. So like I mean, we just can't teach without personnel, right? Like, I don't know how many people we had out today, but I know on Thursday it was like 5, with one leaving halfway through the day because she started to feel sick. I mean, it's like, it's just hard, and it just puts so much stress on everybody in the building to be, I mean, you don't know are you gonna come in and be able to do your own job, or do you have to do somebody else's job that day because there's nobody else to do it?
Right, yeah.
I don't know, did that help? I don't know, did I answer your question?
No, yeah, I just
I
wanted to
think
know
it's
if some of the
slightly
stress.
different. It is, you know, but I think it's a different situation in primary and secondary.
Yeah.
because
Yeah,
in primary, you have separate teachers who are just doing
In school.
the
Yeah.
I didn't know,
whereas
yeah, I wanted to know
in the
that.
secondary,
Right.
you have the same teachers doing both,
Oh.
which is added stress. I think it's just more, and Amanda can speak to this, but I think it's more just the overall craziness of the situation.
Yeah. I mean, what it is, I mean, we're not dealing with remote learners the way the high school is, because we are separate teachers, but we're still in the process of trying to prepare our students for if we ever have to go hybrid or if we have to go remote. And so we're having teachers having to present lessons on Seesaw or Canvas,
Right.
where they are spending a lot of time trying to prepare those particular lessons,
Right.
and present them in their classes.
Mhm.
And at the same time, to try and keep our specialists safe, we're keeping it so that the specialists are rotating into the classrooms. So now you're having teachers who are not able to work in their classrooms during their specialist time, which is our designated planning time through the LPA. We're having to go somewhere else. So our planning time isn't as effective throughout the day as it has been in the past. Lunch is in the classrooms, and so they don't necessarily have teachers or specialists who can cover the classrooms during lunch, so teachers are now having to be in the classroom during lunchtime as well, which is a violation of the LPA because we are guaranteed a 30-minute duty-free lunch. So that's a struggle for teachers. For me personally, I can tell you, I'm in school at 6:45 every morning. And my kids, that's an hour before my students show up. We're now, elementary school teachers, our students come directly to our classroom when they arrive, as opposed to in the past where they might play out on the playground or whatever. And so our contact time is 7:40. And so that means like, if you have a teacher who's showing up at contract time, in 5 minutes, they've got kids in the classroom. So they can't really run to the bathroom, they can't necessarily run a copy if they want to. I mean, I've always been an early riser, I've always been someone who is there ahead of time, but now you're talking about me being in my classroom at 6:45 in the morning, and I left early today to be here. So I'm usually in my classroom from 6:45 in the morning until the earliest I usually leave is 4:30, more likely 5 o'clock. So, like I said, that's my personal time, but I know I'm not the only teacher who's doing that. So I think part of the struggle we're having is teachers are not getting the planning time that we're supposed to be having, because we're making accommodations to keep our students safe and keep our specialists safe. So we're not getting effective planning time in our classroom to be able to do what we need to be doing, so that we can be working during school hours. Does that make sense what I'm saying? So it really kind of is, it's less, and this is not to be in a negative way, it's less kid-free time for us to be able to prepare to be at our best for those students. And when there aren't subs and people are scrambling around, people are feeling like, oh, I can't take a personal day, I can't take, a day to do whatever I need to do. If it's running errands, or in my, like, again, I can speak about my personal case, my children go to school in Virginia. So I can't really take a day to go spend time with my own children across the country, because I need to be there for my own students.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it's kind of that whole, just, the workload has increased, right? Like,
Right.
it wasn't an expectation last year that we'd be planned for Seesaw and Canvas every single day. And so and teachers, and Dr. Millay and I spoke about this yesterday, teachers are basically building the plane as they're flying it, right? Because we weren't doing it last year, so we're trying to learn the platforms as we're trying to teach it to our students to be prepared in case something happens.
Yeah, that was my question. What is the pressure point? What is being added by having to prepare for possible remote learning? Not necessarily teaching a student who's sitting at home right now, but I'm a teacher and I'm doing the same thing. It's not because I have distance learners, it's because the preparation is extra to get it planned for students who could be home, or the kid who is home because of symptoms, or contact traced out, or whatever.
Right.
And the added time of that. I was just wondering if there's pressure point, and if a sub comes in, is a sub doing those lessons, having the added, is there added work for a substitute teacher coming in who is working on any remote students? And it sounds like at the elementary school there isn't.
Yeah,
No.
no. I mean, if there's Canvas, I will say one problem coming in as a sub is that I don't have access to the Canvas. So I'm like, well, I hear you
Yeah,
have
so that
it.
was another
I
question.
hear you have it in
Yeah.
there. I hope you can find it.
Yeah, so that's another,
Yeah.
question I have.
So,
That's
I
a tricky,
mean, for
it's a
us,
complicated thing.
yeah, I mean, for us, it's really more planning and preparing.
So it's an extra time.
And extra time, okay, because of the additional responsibilities that are being placed on teachers. Like I said, in terms of like at the elementary, I think every elementary's got their kids coming in at 7:45 in the morning. Our contract starts at 7:40, so,
Right.
teachers who may have come in at 7:40, knowing that they had till 8:10 or 8:15, 8:10 or 8:15 before they had students, and knew, oh, I can run to the bathroom, I can, oh, I have this great idea in the shower, I wanna run this off, right? We
Right.
do that kind of stuff. I need to run this off really quick. They can't do that now, because they have to be in their classroom and responsible, so they're now coming in even earlier, which also might be decreasing their responsibilities at their home as well.
So just a real 30,000 foot breakdown would be just more kid-free time, which could maybe be done by more subs.
I don't know that.
Or how do we avoid not putting them into classrooms separately? That's the only way, like, there's some things we have to do to be at school at all.
Right.
So,
I mean, I think that's hard to say that we're gonna have a sub come in and cover my
yeah,
class.
so I'm wondering,
Yeah.
the connection with this.
I mean, I can throw out an idea I had honestly in the shower this morning.
Yeah,
Was if we were able to do at least one day of a late start for the elementary schools, like 40 minutes, right? If we were to delay starting for the elementary and Ecker by 40 minutes, 1 or 2 days a week, where those teachers could use that and it could be designated as this is your time to plan your seesaw lessons or your Canvas or whatever. So their traditional planning time would be for their in-person students. And the reason why I thought of the morning is because of transportation, right? Because I'm thinking if we try and close early, right, then that kind of messes with the transportation at the high school. So it's like if we pushed the elementary start time to 8:55 or even 9 o'clock, and then we pushed back Becker's time by the same amount, like at least in my mind, I'm thinking it wouldn't mess with buses. But like I said, I don't know the intricacies of the bus routes. So that was just, and like I said, that just came to me this morning. I haven't even had a chance to discuss it with PCEA at all. But that was just a thought that I had of like, okay, if we have designated time, where, okay, this is the time you should be working on your hybrid lessons, then that could relieve some time pressure for the teachers, because then they can say, okay, I have this time set aside for my hybrid lessons. I could be using my traditional planning time to plan for my in-person students.
Okay, so that would solve that, and then there's a different issue of subbing.
Yeah, that's a totally different issue, just because we don't have enough at the level for teachers to feel like they can be up.
That's because we have.
So can
We have.
I just say one really quick thing? Sorry I'm not there, but I just want to thank everyone that's talking for these proactive solutions. And when we got that email about potentially giving Thanksgiving week off, like we jumped on the phone to talk about, if it was possible or not. So please, if you've got suggestions or ideas, the step concept of needing more, please continue the conversation, because we aren't in the classrooms. We don't see what you guys see or necessarily know what you need. So we're listening, we're trying our very best, and appreciate all that you're doing. It sounds insane, and thank you.
Can I just make a comment to that? This was not my idea, the Thanksgiving break. This was Darren's idea. And
Oh, okay.
I mean, but that says to me that it just stopped. Like it didn't, he tried to pass it. And so I was like, okay, if it didn't go anywhere, I'm gonna try to get it somewhere, because I think we need ideas like this. So I don't know what that says. Like he went through a channel, I came through a different one, and I feel like I'm having to also, like I'm trying, like he's already done it. Why did I have to do it again? Why'd I have to bring up some, I don't know. That's a different issue. But, I mean, if the principal brings up a suggestion like this, like.
Yeah, it's possible it's the same answer though.
Yeah.
I think it probably
Okay.
is.
Yeah, 180 days is kind of it's a
I
thing.
know.
It's a thing, and so then we
And we can't like push like the end of school farther.
could ask the teachers if they wanted to extend their contract by a few days, but
Got it.
again, if you kind of have your end mark as June 2nd,
Right.
and you and your family have decided June 2nd, or you want to pick up your
Right.
child from
No,
college or
I get
whatever,
what you're saying.
so there are some things that certainly could be discussed.
I mean, maybe
and
this
talked
is the
about.
sort of thing to think like, hopefully, we don't have a year like this again.
Right.
But who knows?
Who knows?
If it comes to, the next school year, like, then this is probably something that should be thought about ahead of time, like building in some stress relief, like building in some pressure valves, right? Because it's gonna blow.
We build out the schedules like over a year ahead.
We're working on the calendar for the
Yeah.
next meeting. That's gonna be an
Yeah.
exciting one. If you'd like to be the parent representative,
Yeah.
we receive all public comment.
Yeah.
on
Yay!
the changes.
Oh, can I please do
Don't
more?
scratch their
Yes,
planning time
exactly.
department. Thank you both
Yeah,
for
thanks.
your input,
Those are great
and
ideas.
we're gonna continue to work on it. So thank you both.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I will now entertain a motion to adjourn this regularly scheduled meeting until the next meeting, which is, November 17th.
I make a motion to adjourn this regular meeting, to adjourn this regular meeting till November 17th
Okay,
at 4 p.m.
Second.
okay. All those in favor of adjourning, please say aye.
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 Meeting's adjourned. All right, now we will go to a call to order of the local building authority. We have posted a notice of special meeting of the Board of Trustees of the local building authority of the school district, being held at 4 p.m. today, October 20th. They will elect the officers of the building authority and adopt the bylaws. So, I guess I'll call order the meeting at 5:12 PM today, October 20th. We'll start with 9.01, which is a resolution adopting the bylaws of the Park City Local Building Authority. Let's see here.
Do you want any discussion or?
Yeah, do you want to just walk us through this, this so we do it correctly,
You
Todd?
bet, yeah. So I have with me Preston Schur, Matt Dugdale with Steeple.
Hi,
I
guys.
have Randy Larson with Gilmore and Bell on the phone. They're all here to answer any questions that you might have for this process and also for the documents that we're looking at. So the purpose of today's meeting is to formally adopt the bylaws for the building authority. So that's the first part of the resolution. And then the second part is to appoint or elect the officers of the local building authority. And you'll note that in the bylaws that the president of the school board is also the president of the local building authority, vice president, and the business administrator for the school board is the secretary treasurer for the building authority. So those are the two primary activities today, and that's about as far as we'll get today. We'll just finish formalizing the building authority itself and get you fully legally functioning in that capacity. If you'll take a look at the Articles of Incorporation, I know there's been some question about what will the building authority do. Article 2 in the bylaws talks about what the legal structure is under Title 17D for a local building authority. But the next paragraph down is the one that I think is important to look at, which is that the local building authority can do nothing that the school board hasn't authorized it to conduct or do. So you, as when you're in the capacity of the school board, you give direction to the building authority to then carry out the business on behalf of the school board. So just want to make sure that we're clear there that the building authority can't go and do something independent and on a wild hair. It can only function under the school board's direction. So that's probably an important section to be aware of. With that, are there any other questions on the bylaws themselves that they can catch your attention? Any questions there?
And anything?
No, I'm sure I will have some at some point. I'm digging in, but not at the minute, no.
All right.
So if you want to.
I'll entertain a motion to approve and adopt the bylaws of the local building authority for Park City School District.
And the resolution is written.
And the resolution as written.
I make a motion to approve and adopt the bylaws of the building authority and
The resolution.
the resolution as stated. Or as written.
Second.
As written.
Okay.
And stated.
Moved by Wendy, seconded by Ann. Do we have any questions or discussion on that? Okay, all those in favor, please say aye.
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 Okay, we'll move on to 9.02, which is election of the officers of the Building Authority Board. I'll make a motion that the following members and officers of the governing board are hereby elected. Or actually, you should make a motion.
Yeah, I make a motion that the following members and officers of the governing board are hereby elected to the respective offices of the authority. President Andrew Kaplan, Vice President Aaron Grady, and Secretary Treasurer Todd.
Second.
Almost got to be just one name, like Sharon.
Yeah.
Do we have any questions or discussion on that? Okay, all those in favor of approving the election of officers, please say aye.
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 Okay, that's unanimous. Are we all set on the
Yep,
authority?
so you've taken care of the official business of the day. And so now you'll await further direction from the school board.
Okay,
So,
Can't wait to meet you.
and
yeah. there's
I'll entertain
lots of people on
I'll entertain a motion to adjourn this meeting of the local building authority until such time as it's needed in the future.
I make a motion to adjourn the local building authority meeting and reconvene as the Board of Education on November 17th at 4 p.m.
Okay.
Second.
All right, all those in favor, aye.
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 All right, this meeting is adjourned as well. Thanks.
Thanks, everybody.
Excellent.
Bye.
Good night.
Yeah, that was great. Talk to you. Bye. All kinds of things for you to sign.
Yeah.
Before you get too far.
Yeah, I want that.
I tried to. Absolutely, happy to be here.
Okay.